Hello Aquarius, thank you for joining me here at Leaping Lotus Tarot. I'm going to be using the Magic of the Gathering Oracle today. I also am wearing a hematite bracelet. I will actually read the message from that for you as well before we get started. This is the crystal I'm using today for the Star Tarot. And I also have a daily magic card I'm going to read as well. So given all of that, we're going to tie those messages together to see what kind of context we're going to be having for this reading. So let me go ahead and read see if I can find it here. Well, we'll start with daily magic until I can figure out where I put my hematite card. Well, I may not find it, but basically, let's just go ahead and say the gist of that is strength, okay? It's strength, and it's also, it's protection as well. So let's go ahead and read this daily magic card. In ancient times, healers interpreted the curative properties of plants by examining their structure and shape. This is called the doctrine of signatures. It is the way that the plants communicate with humans who don't speak the language of wind and rain. Wow, that's really interesting. So immediately, the first thing that popped into my mind about this, like the plants and how they communicate, is actually the telepathy tapes with Kai Dickens. She interviews people, and one of them is a non-speaker who speaks with plants and actually tells people what their illnesses are. She can sense it from them. I think she writes it down or something like that. And she just intuitively knows what plants. She was never taught it. She's just a non-speaker. She's tapped into the everything, the Akashic records, whatever. And she's able to tell you what plants you need to heal yourself. So, with the initial message of the hematite here, with the strength and the protection, there could be some sort of energy that you're having to deal with right now that requires you to maybe protect yourself from certain people. Maybe, if there's some sort of healing that needs to happen, perhaps in the heart chakra realm of things, could be possible, protecting yourself from people. I have no idea what plants would be good for that, if that's something you're healing, but definitely check out the telepathy tapes on YouTube if you've never heard of that. All right, let's see what we've got for these oracle messages here. We have Nico, mental reflections, and we have Phaenax, resourcefulness. Okay, so this could be, if there's something that you're needing to heal, this might be a call for you to really utilize your resources. Tap into the people that you know, tap into the things that you have access to help you heal these things. And, even if they're sort of non-typical ways of finding answers, for example, through nonverbal speakers, or if it's past life regressions, or, just going into meditation. There's different ways for you to find answers that don't require you to go to an actual human medical doctor. Okay. Resourcefulness. The bigger the problems you take on, the bigger the life you will lead. Big problems will call forth a resourcefulness that you didn't know you had within you. Start with the impossible and let it be your guiding light. You are capable of greatness. Wow. Phaenax is the god of trickery and was the first mortal to escape the underworld, a feat that made him a god. So yeah, you could be going through some seriously heavy stuff right now. And you're tough. I mean, you've got the strength, right? I would not be surprised if we get Leo in this reading. Okay, for mental reflections in Nico, this says, the world is a reflection of the collective human mind, of which our own particular mind is a part. If we can free our mind from this hall of mirrors, we can bring conscious order into the collective mind and reflect a new way of being into the whole. So as you discover the answers that you're seeking through all of this, 444 on the timer, by the way, as I say that, as you're seeking the answers to all of this, you're going to be able to actually help awaken people to the answers that they are seeking to find as well. And I don't think that that's, we have this conversation about healers here in this daily magic card. So I don't think that that's insignificant by any means. I think that that's an important aspect. You could very much actually relate to being a healer. So let's dive into the Star Tarot. This was actually one of the very first decks I had ever gotten. It's always fantastic as far as giving me really awesome, clear messages. So I love this deck. I actually have not used it in a while, so I'm very excited to use it and see what comes through today for Aquarius. Take a deep breath from me if you would. Ground into the present moment. And I think I'm actually going to, since we're already 5 minutes in, I think I'm going to go ahead and leave a timestamp for you guys so you can dive right into the tarot reading. Yeah. But if you like the intro stuff, like the daily magic and all that, please let me know. Drop it in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. So right away, we have the High Priestess out. Let's see what else we've got. Well, this is kind of a lot of cards. King of Wands. So let's take these in reverse, because they kind of came out sideways / reversed. So let's just see what we get with that. So right now, we're kind of getting an intuitive thing going on about, could be a masculine energy. Six of Wands in reverse. And we also have the Queen of Cups. Let me just get some clarity for why is the King of Wands in reverse. Actually, why? Yeah. Why is the King of Wands in reverse? Ace of Wands is sort of sideways. There could be a lack of clarity around where you're wanting to go with something, or maybe the masculine's unclear about what his passion or his path is. Okay, the clarity for the High Priestess in reverse is the Emperor. Actually, what I'm getting is that there could be a masculine energy that is better suited for you. And if you're the Queen of Cups here, Six of Wands in reverse. Ooh, yeah, we just had the Tower just fly out onto the ground. So you might currently actually be in a relationship that is potentially going to crash down, which is okay. You got to put your ego aside with it. It might take some strength. We have the Chariot. Yeah, okay, so there is a masculine energy waiting in the wings to come forth to you, but you do not have access to it because you are perhaps currently in something with somebody else who's not meeting you at the same level of passion or emotion, just because we have so much, you know, kind of water and fire energy here. I guess the advice from the universe, you know, if we're taking into account, you know, the emotional protection we've talked about, the healing, the utilizing your resources, this kind of seems like if you're in a marriage, you know, this might be like how can you kind of make a divorce happen potentially? Tell me more about the Tower. I don't want to make this reading too long, but let's just see. The Devil. Oh my goodness. You could have had a loyalty issue here with this person. Maybe they have an addiction of some type. Maybe they won't stop drinking. Why is he not clear on his passion? Let's ask about that Ace of Wands. Because that Ace of Wands sideways and not being clear feels like it has to do with the Devil energy. So let's just kind of ask, you know, those in tandem together what's going on with that. Nine of Swords, but it's in reverse, so that's kind of good. Prince of Wands. It's a good sign that he wants to heal, but it might be too little too late. That's kind of what I'm getting with this. He's not at the level that you're at, just with that Prince of Wands. He's just not the Emperor status. He's not the King status. He's at a Prince level. And you're at a Queen level. Oh, I say that, but we have Princess of Cups and we have the Four of Wands in reverse. Oh, wow. So again, with this ego, I can't ignore this card here at the Six of Wands in reverse. What this is that you probably aren't releasing this connection because you have an ego around the dissolving of this. Like with the Four of Wands in reverse, this is like a marriage harmony balance card. So if you're dissolving a marriage, and that's what this Tower moment is, you're having potentially to release ego with the Six of Wands in reverse, because going through a divorce in your mind knocks you down to a princess sort of status. It lowers you from your Queen of Cups status into a Princess of Cups status. And kind of same thing with that High Priestess in reverse. It's like your ego's getting in the way of like you following your actual intuition of what you're needing to do here. And And so it's almost like you kind of see yourself at the same level of this masculine if you were to get divorced, but at the same time, they're not what you need right now. So you're kind of in like this catch-22 sort of thing. So the main message is that you have to have the strength to do what your intuition is telling you. Ace of Pentacles, yeah, because that's what's going to bring you abundance here, is following your heart and following your intuition and not having the ego be the reason why you don't move into a connection that's going to better support and serve you. Let's see if there's any final messages we need to get from the tarot before we wrap this up. Again, hit like and subscribe. Oh, this is a lot, but we'll just kind of summarize it super quick. Why is all this in reverse? This is crazy. So to have the Ace of Cups, ultimate happiness, you know, support from the divine emotionally in regards to where you're trying to go, Queen of Cups. You know, pair yourself with soulmates, people who are going to challenge you to be a better person. Two of Swords and Two of Wands in reverse is interesting, especially with the Death in reverse. You seem like you're just scared to make a change. You've got to let go of the ego with this. I guess let me just ask, is this the change that you need to make? It just feels like you do because of like the Emperor and Chariot card. Is there redeeming? Eight of Cups in reverse. That's just kind of continuing to validate this energy. Is there a redeeming value to this connection and something that you should stay in? Or is this something you need to move away from? Does the universe think you should stay or should you go? You gotta, okay, so this is one of those things where it's like, it's gonna be different for everybody. And so the advice here is to meditate. You're not going within and asking. That's also why the High Priestess is in reverse, because you're not meditating and asking the right questions. So you have to do that in order to get the answer that you need as far as whether you should stay or whether you should go. And then the Ten of Swords in reverse, I mean, there really could have been a betrayal here of some type. It's going to be different for everybody. I really don't know, but yeah, the overall message here is to meditate, to have strength, to have discipline, to use your resources, to listen to your gut, and take the steps towards releasing ego. If I didn't say that already, taking the steps towards yourself to get a better clarity about how you should move into the future. I hope that was helpful to you, and please drop in the comments. That's my favorite part. Even more than a subscriber, I like interacting and engaging with you guys. So as always, I hope to see you next time here at Leaping Lotus Tarot.